Hey, this is Rich over at TVP Live with another quick tips tutorial brought to you by Adobe Photoshop Elements Tutorials Group. And let's jump right in with today's poster. Want to know how to cut the background out of this photo here. Poster wanted to put this item, I believe the whole item, on top of a tabletop. I'm not sure why, but I'll go ahead and try to show you how to do that. So let's get started. There's a couple ways we can do this. First, we can make mats which are similar to using the magic tool. So let's try the magic tool. And you have a tolerance down here, 0 to, I don't know, like 225. We're going to try it at 100 and see what happens here. Let's choose the layer. I'm going to click on here, and you can see that it actually chose a lot of stuff other than just the object. So if I click here and hit select inverse, it'll select the opposite. Then I hit delete, and look what happens. It kind of doesn't delete everything that we want. So obviously that doesn't work. So I'm going to hit Control Z to undo what we did. And let's try that again by lowering the tolerance here from 100 to 50. And now I'm going to hit, and you can hit the shift to do plus. So I'm going to hit it here. And you see it only grabbed this portion here. So if I hit shift and grab a little bit more, you can see it grabbed a lot more there. So the problem with this is that, and I keep hitting shift and the left mouse button, it keeps grabbing more, but there's always like these little parts and pieces that don't want to get grabbed right in here. To show you what I'm talking about, I'm going to go ahead and hit delete, and you can see all these leftover pieces that are really hard to get. So because the lighting is so different on this object, I'm going to go ahead and undo that. I'm going to have to resort to using the eraser and cut the object out. So as long as you have that layer chosen, grab an eraser. Down here, make it a small brush that's a soft brush actually. You could do a sharp brush, but because photographs aren't really sharp, I'm going to pick something like a 5-point here. And it's going to take a little bit longer to do it this way, but the result is going to be really awesome. And what I'm doing is I click once, I hold the shift down and click over here, and that's how you get straight lines. So I do section at a time like this. I click once, hold shift down over here, and click again, and it does a whole line at a time. This isn't a really straight object, even though it appears to be straight. That's why I do section at a time. If I were to do all the way across, it wouldn't actually get the whole object. It would probably include some of the floor. So I'm going to continue doing this until I finish erasing the edge of the whole object. So as you can see, we took the eraser and we basically drew out by making an outline with the eraser all the way around the object. Now let's go ahead and cut the actual object out using the polygon tool. We could have used the polygon tool originally, but that would have been too jaggy of edges. As you can see, the edges are a little bit soft, and that is more reality of what a photograph really is. There really are not hard edges. As you can see right here, this edge here is really kind of soft, and that's why you want to cut out using an eraser, a soft eraser, instead of this sharp polygon tool, and that will leave your object cut out with a softer edge. Now, once you get back down with the polygon tool where you started here, you double click, and I'm going to zoom out to show you what happens. Now there's a dotted line that's all the way around the object. If I right click in the middle and hit select inverse, it'll select everything else but the object. As soon as I hit delete, boom, everything else is gone. Now I can hit Control D to deselect. And now you've got yourself a free floating object, just like you wanted. But what's next is now we've got to put it on a tabletop as the poster wanted, and luckily I happen to have here on another file a tabletop. And what you were looking for is that same angle. So look for a table that was photographed in as close as the same angle as your original. I could just grab this object with the left mouse button and drag it up to your tab with your tabletop on it, and you drag it back down, and as soon as I let go of the mouse, ba-da, there it is. Now we got our tabletop and we got our object here, and we're going to place it over here, maybe make it a little bit bigger. And I'm not sure exactly if this is what the poster wanted, but I'm doing what I think was asked for in the post. So all that's missing is a little bit of shadowing. Do you see the shadow down here? This would create a shadow on top of the tabletop. So let's go ahead and add our shadow. How do we do that? This tabletop is in the middle layer and the object is on the top layer. So let's put a blank layer in between the two. So I open a new layer and I'm going to drag it down to in between, and I'm going to simply go over here and grab a brush, and let's go ahead and change the color from red and come over here and drag this down to the bottom left, which is pure black, and hit OK. Now we want to make that brush really big, I don't know, like 300 points, and see how that size is going to be. I'm going to come down here and draw basically a little shadow made from scratch. And I'm going to come up like this. And it automatically comes in at 100%. And I'll put a little blink right there. And obviously we don't want the 100%. So we come up here to opacity, and I can bring, watch the layer, up or down or somewhere in between. I think I like it right around there. Let's say 60%. That looks good. Here's off and on. I'm toggling the layer. And that gives us a nice realistic shadow. Anyway, this is it. We put ourselves a ottoman on top of a tabletop as asked by the poster. Well, this is Rich for this tutorial, calling it quits, saying over and out.